on the Ford County Development Authority. I started back sitting on the Ford County Development Authority as of the first of this term, which was about 3 years ago. And I've learned a lot in those 4 years. But I want to comment on the sale of the land that's in question. The authority had roughly 1,500 acres of land. TPA, which is the consultant that handles the business for the Ford County, has bought down approximately 200 acres, and they're supposed to buy down so many acres per year. Okay. This year they're not in the financial shape to buy down land, which they're supposed to do this month. So there was a broker and a businessman that came through, wanted to develop some of the property, which is about 535 acres of that total 1,500. The land itself that we're trying to sell, the Ford County Development is trying to sell, it's already been rezoned for its purposes. The rezoning that the developer is asking for on the residential part is trying to, quote, have a more dense residential area. The Ford County Development Authority owned 481 acres of that land. The rest of the land, which is about 50 acres, belonged to TPA, which is the consultant. Of that 481 acres, approximately 120 acres is in what we call wetlands. Okay? So you got to put in a road, which is about 1,400 feet. You got to have at least 20 to 30% in green space. So this land is really not what you say where you can build manufacturing on it because of the terrain. So we looked at the sales within the area. There has not been any sales of a large tract in that area for the last 10 years, really. So, of the 481 acres, the Ford County Development Authority will probably take in about $3.7 million. The $3.7 million will pay for the land, and what I told the authority, that if we don't make a sale to be able to continue to pay down the notes on the land, the G-for note, and for the financing of the bond for the road, then we'll have to go back to our taxpayer. And I'm not willing to ask the taxpayer for any more money. So here was a chance that we could get approximately $3.7, $3.9 million and pay down that. And the way the bondholder, the city of Madison, has the loan, we will be out of debt by the year 2020. So this was a way to be able to sell that. So if you say the 481 acres that the Development Authority owns, it averaged about $6,500 an acre. That's what we'd be selling it for. So yes, it's below what we paid for, but that's only 481 acres of the total of the 1,500 acres of land. So it's not a loss right there. It's not what we paid for it on the average, sure, but you can't base the average on just certain tracts of land. You got to base it on what all you have in it. So.
And that when that sales, that comes on the tax digest.
It comes on the tax digest right away. And they were trying to close the deal by the 15th of this month. Because of the rezoning now, it's been tabled to February, so it won't go on the books until next year. And of course, the county could have been 10% of the taxes from that.
And how many houses are they planning to build?
100. The first phase is 180. In total of about 1,500 houses for that area. Now, the town center, right around the Baxter area or the Baxology area, is still left intact. Then there's property on the other side, I guess you would say the Atlanta side of 278, is still being left for town center and business.
No, but this was already zoned residential.
It was all, the land is already what they was asking for, special exception to make the property more densely.
Okay, anything else?